Hello! I wonder what the first syllable you heard as I unmuted them was.
It probably was hello.
I think it was. I think it was actually probably something to do with. You probably heard Tyler first. So what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the show. I'm excited to see where things go. So, like I said last time when we popped off, that we were going to pick up with Rena and Tyler. Running away as fast as they can. Let's get a little bit of music going, some combat music going. That's exciting. You guys are running away. Ophios,
wait,
you're in the
I
lead.
have 2,553 daddies? Nice.
200,000?
No.
I said 2,553.
Oh, I've got 16.
And the rule- The rule is
Yes.
How?
the rule
Every
is
time that little treasure chest comes up, I click it.
yeah. The rule
Oh,
is
I was talking about actual daddies, not the stepdaddies.
Oh, sorry.
if you type commands daddies in chat like everybody else is in Arena, you'll be able to see. And you guys,
do
the
that.
rule is you're not allowed to impact your own game with that, but you can impact the other games. So
Right.
Kingmaker and when it's on Thronekeeper.
Oh,
Oh.
you still have me beat.
$3,000. That's a lot. I
do
bet
You
all
have
my
like
daddies.
one more hour than I do.
How do you earn the regular daddies?
You click on the screen.
A treasure chest pops up on the screen as well as just being logged in by watching you get them, as well as like bits and whatnot as well. Some, but or subbing. So, anyways, not gift subs though. Those I have to manually give to the people that gift sub, which I usually do in chunks for. Let's be honest, Steve and Josh before, but Steve. You know, it's Steve. And other people give sub too, and I appreciate it, of course, not to discredit anybody. But going back to the game, the Ophios, you're the one in the lead. You turn, you're running. You saw before there were a few guards chasing you. You didn't know how many people there were that were chasing you before. So why don't you actually, as you're running, I'm going to need from you first your athletics check for your first attempt to try to run away from these people.
Yay. Another 9.
Do you want to luck that or?
Nope.
And second of all, you
Disadvantage perception.
I was, yeah, actually, that's. You actually threw me off at how accurate I was going to ask that.
Hey, look, I still didn't roll higher than a 10.
So what you know, Tyler, is that with the perception check, that there's definitely those first, few guards that were chasing after you. So there's 4 or 5 guards that are chasing after you. You know it for a fact. If there's more than that, you don't really know. Unfortunately, Tyler, your athletics check is not particularly good. These guards are chasing after you, and I'm going to have to roll for them too. They're more athletic than a random commoner, though.
I'm a random commoner. I don't have a plus in athletics.
But they're wearing armor that's got to be heavy, and they probably eat donuts all day like regular.
Yep, they
cops.
caught me in like one go.
So no, they haven't caught you yet. So they're chasing after you, and they're closing ground. I mean, you didn't have a big head start from them, right? And they're closing ground pretty quickly. Again, they know the city. You do not know the city. This is kind of playing into your favor. Rena, this running happened shortly before you went running after a moment later. So that first roll I wasn't even having you be a part of. I'm going to have you kick up afterwards. So if you imagine this on a scale of like them kind of chasing each other, if you had originally, let's like put it on like a 5-point scale. What's his name? Ophios was kind of at point number 1. Guards are at point number 3. Rena was kind of at point number 5 or 6, right? And then she comes running in. They actually won a check, so now they're at point number 2. They're much closer to Ophios. Rita, you didn't get to make a check there. You're still stuck at 5 because you were late to the thing. So they're chasing after you, and you're trying to run away from them. Unfortunately, it did not work out so well. You're going to make me another athletics check, but you can also do something cute again, like you did last time with the perception or so on. What would you like to do, Tyler?
This time, I would like Ophios to actually run into a building that's nearby, and try and my goal is to run into a building and try and Eldritch blast something so debris falls in their way as I dive out of a window or something.
Okay. So it's one of those, like, you more or less want to make a splashy, like, acrobatics.
Yeah.
So rather than continuing to take this fight, sorry. I took a bite because I thought you were going to say more. My mistake.
You're fine.
So rather than continuing to try to take this fight on foot, because clearly you're not fast enough to just straight outrun these people around corners, jumping here, so on and so forth, you want to make this a little bit messier. You want to use acrobatics instead. Jump through a window, make throw shit in their way, da 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 da, to try to make it so it's harder for them to chase after you. You're welcome to roll an acrobatics check, sir.
Woohoo! I rolled over a 15. I rolled a 15.
They're now going to roll their athletics check to try to catch up to you. I rolled so horribly. You actually do, like, you blast the glass, you throw stuff in the way and whatnot. Your complete change of your approach to the whole scenario actually throws them back. So more or less on that scale, they fall back to step 3. It wasn't like they just stayed, right? They actually fell back because you got such good headway on what's going on. Rena, this is the first time you also get to roll athletics check to try to catch up to them.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, you just cannot catch up particularly well. Compared to them, you did not get high enough to catch up. So you actually are going to stay in that further rank. Ophios, you actually are able to keep a bit ahead of them. What's your plan from here? Rena, also roll me a perception check with disadvantage, please. And then Ophios, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the roll.
Perception.
You won't hear the result till you speak.
Yeah, I know. I just like seeing it, and it would distract me if I was in the middle of talking. My approach is I kind of how much invisibility oil do I need to cover my gear?
You mean to turn you completely invisible?
Not to turn me invisible, just all of my equipment.
Well, the
So
funny
if I
thing
turned
about-
into a snake and left my equipment behind, I could just make note of where I left it and nobody would see it.
If you just bundled everything together tightly, meaning you spent time doing it, I would say 1 potion. But if you're doing this like quick, I don't give a shit, just make it happen, 2 potions.
Okay, that's essentially what I want to do.
So-
then.
so-
As
so
soon
more or
as
less
I
like-
round a corner.
Bundling it, spend like a minute to be meticulous, 1 potion would last. But like doing it in 2 rounds, just like smash it there. 2 potions, you're good.
See,
Okay.
the funny thing about invisibility oil is you never know how much you have.
Go ahead, sir.
So that's what I'm gonna do. Ophios, having seen that they got tripped up and getting that gap, is gonna round around a corner to make sure that he's out of sight, and make sure other people can't see him too. Maybe jumps into a cellar or something of some random building. And stashes his stuff, reaches into his haversack, sets his haversack down after he grabs the potions out, and throws them on his stuff and turns into a snake.
So you actually get to roll the stealth check normal as opposed to disadvantage because they're chasing you. Because you're actually kind of able to keep a good enough gap away from them. Oh
My God.
oh!
What a heart attack.
Oh my God, I was about to be so pissed.
Are you happy with your 15?
I'm gonna actually add to it because I can.
Okay. So there's an 18 total. I'm going to roll my perception to see if they saw you jump to hide to make this everything that you just described a moment ago happen. Okay. You actually easily jump and hide out of the way. You actually are not having an issue doing this. You're able to, like you said, kind of like slide through a window into a basement, shattering it. But at the same time, like doing it around a corner, so not necessarily everybody knows that that's what you just did. They can't see that. Oh, it's that one, obviously. So you do that a little discreetly, giving you just enough time to kind of quickly turn into a snake, probably turn back, standing there naked, and just like dumping oil, the oil, everything, just like smashing it right there, so it's all invisible. And then, so you're not running around naked, turning back into a snake again and slithering your way. Are you just going to stay in the basement, or are you going to run out?
He's gonna head back towards the warehouse, or he would head towards where he last saw, like, kind of back. No, he would head towards the warehouse.
What are you going to do to remember this is the house? Because you're just blindly running through the city. You don't even know where in the city you are.
He would make note of it, take memory of the building and the structure, and probably mark it with I mean, prestidigitation would only last an hour. But I could, if I scratch into it or left a mark like of my people with my safe haven, I would mark it with something like that if I had time.
Rena, you see 8 guards are chasing after Ophios, and you're chasing after those guards, trying to stay so they don't really notice you because of how you're hanging back. And you continue chasing them. Do me a favor, roll my athletics check. They roll, yeah, this.
They had rolled a 4 before.
She followed up that 4 with a 7 athletics. So they're actually still able to kind of keep a good amount ahead of you at first. It's actually one of those things where it's super frustrating because you're just trying to keep up. You just want to get there to help out Ophios, but you keep falling behind. Do you continue trying to chase after them to make sure that Ophios is okay? It'd be wonderful to hear your voice,
Is Rena
Rena.
muted?
But apparently Ursula got to you.
I'm sorry. I'm here. Can you hear me now?
So what did you say? Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
what'd you
saying,
say?
I was saying, yeah, she would chase after them.
Okay.
Try to find him.
So you continue chasing after them. Now what happens is they eventually, meta description, they eventually kind of like realize that they lost Ophios at some point in time. And so they stop searching for Ophios and start spreading out. But one of the guards happens to notice Rena like barreling in with a big axe in her hand. She still hasn't cleaned the blood off of it as she's going. She's like running in and all injured and stuff like that. Clearly not looking very discreet in her approach. And so one of the guards is like, found another one. Get her. Like, they don't really know whether or not you're linked, but you clearly, again, looking like you're someone that they, as guards, want to stop and question. And so the guards kind of start turning on you, 2 or 3 at first, and start coming towards you as you're running towards them. Do you, never mind. And like, or do you Rena it out?
Does she need to roll perception for her to know they lost me, or no?
No. Oh, my apologies. Thank you, Tyler, because I did meta description. Yeah, you could actually roll an insight check.
Okay. Because I'd see them slow down, but then, let's see. Oh, cool.
No clue.
F.
Hopefully not just an F, but an FF.
You said there was 8 total, but now how many are coming after me?
You see like 3 of them are noticing you and coming towards you.
3?
Yep. But you imagine the others won't be far behind.
You're also fluffed up. Still.
I know. I'm gonna. I'm noping it. I'm noping it out of there.
Would I have to roll to see this?
Nope. You pieced out. So because you didn't know she was chasing after you. So Rena, you turn and you start running the other way. Well, I'm gonna have a little fun for just one, Rena, just one moment. Okay. Oh, where'd that go? Sorry.
Go right ahead.
One moment. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
One moment. There it is. Hold on. One moment.
Take your time, buddy.
Oh, thank you. Rena. One moment. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, sorry. That did that. My apologies. I actually clicked it wrong. How do I change this? It's been a while since I've had to do that. Click. And where is my change? Right there. And there we go. Okay, my apologies. Now I'm rolling. What's your AC, Rena?
I believe it's a 16.
16?
Cool. So one of the
No,
guards...
it's 17.
One of the guards turns and fires at you with a crossbow and clearly misses with their attack roll. Another one turns and fires at you as well. Actually,
And
they
shoots the original guard that shot at her.
they don't fire the crossbow. It actually malfunctions, and that's something that they're gonna have to fix or whatever to be able to continue. They're turning and calling for the other guards. Hey, we found her, blah, blah. You can clearly see they're coming towards you. Now you kind of have to athletics the other direction for a moment.
Okay.
Once again, you get athletics or acrobatics, your choice. I imagine athletics for you.
Oh, either or.
For you, running away, correct.
I'm gonna do acrobatics then.
Acrobatics can be used for chasing in the future too, but not for this scenario. Go ahead. Acrobatics if that's better for you.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's actually a really good roll. Give me 1 second. And
Rena dives through that same window that Ophios had originally dove out of to try and get away.
you actually do a really good job of keeping your distance away from them. As a matter of fact, you break free from them enough that all of a sudden you're completely surprised as you're running by, somebody jumps out like from an alleyway, like jumps out from your right hand side and just like bulldoze tackles you. We're talking full on like NFL, like upper body grabs and tackles you, but not like onto the ground, like through across the street that you're running along into the other side of the alleyway, and the two of you go tumbling to the ground. And as you kind of like end up being this tumbled mess, I imagine like reacting to it, you look to see the person that did it, and you can actually see that somebody has like a bit of like dirt on their face. Their hair is like sandy and brown and everything. They're clearly human, and they look at you. And do you say anything?
What the fuck?
He's like, oh, fuck, that hurt. Yes, sorry about that. Here, and he helps you up. Now, you're not an idiot. It was an obvious tackle.
Yeah. I mean, I'll let him help me up, but then I'll kind of push him and be like, "What's your problem?"
You shove him like back towards like the street where he came from. He's like, whoa, hey! I'm here to help. I swear it. And when he says that, he's like, "You just stay there for a second." And he turns around and he pulls out a sword and he kind of gets low over by the entrance of the alleyway, and he's kind of like hanging back there. And he looks over at you and he's like, waves for you to get closer to the wall. And he goes back towards the alleyway again and just continues standing there. What do you do, Rena?
Because I want to... I guess I'll crouch down and just whisper, "How do you know me?"
He looks back and says, "I don't."
I want an insight check.
Mm-hmm. You believe him. You don't think he knows you.
Okay. Then why are you helping me?
Because I was ordered to. Now, shh. And he stands there waiting. What do you do? It's not going to take long for him to get there, but what do you do?
Waiting for me?
No, waiting like he's like crouched by the entrance of the alleyway, like by the entrance of the alleyway with his sword out waiting.
Oh, okay.
With your insight, you can clearly tell he's waiting for those guards to run by.
To pass. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay. Okay. I guess I'll just where does the alley go? Is it like dead end alley or?
No, it comes out another side. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go another way then.
So you just try to creep away.
Yeah, slowly.
Roll a stealth check for me.
Oh, cool.
You start trying to stealthy away, and as you're like stealthy away, it's one of those things where all of a sudden one of the first guards runs by. The first guard runs by, and then all of a sudden you like step back and you trip over like a bucket, like a wash bucket, and you like fall down and splash, and oh, you are Ariel. You fall into the wash basin.
Oh my god.
You fall into the wash basin. Of course, all that noise and everything that you do, it makes the guy like turn back and look at you like, what the hell? But as he turns back to look at you, one of the guards that was running by also like stops, look down the alleyway to see what it is, and he's not looking up at the guard. The guard looks over and quickly assesses the situation, and is like, what the? And it just immediately starts attacking the guy that's crouched down on the ground with a sword out that was looking to help you. And he starts like swinging to attack this guy. Rena, very quickly, I want you to roll me a initiative. Hold on 1 second. Actually, very quickly, but hold on 1 second, because
Okay.
you always roll way too fast.
Oh,
You're
sorry.
like, aye, Captain, and then I'm not ready.
Bam.
All right, now you can roll me initiative whenever you're ready.
Okay.
We were rolling pretty bad
Hmm.
for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Few good rolls every now and then, but mostly below 10.
All right. Oh, wow. Look at that. Of course. So, Rena, you, my lady, are unfortunately going to act last in the turn of initiative. The guard that came around the corner was like surprised to see you guys there. He's actually going to be the one that gets to act first, and he's going to, like I said, attack the guard that's on the ground. Give me one moment as I click over here.
Well, your friend might die.
My friend?
Yeah, the one that's trying to protect you.
He's
He
not
doesn't
my
look
friend.
like he's that armed.
He swings down at that guy and cuts him with the sword, like hits him so hard with the sword. You honestly, it was a pretty grievous wound. He seems to be surviving it for now, but you don't know if he'll be able to survive in the future without some sort of medical treatment. Like, it was a pretty harsh wound. That guy that was on the ground ends up falling to the ground, and instead of attacking backwards, he's just kind of like, fuck, just get out of here. Get out of here! He says as he's has his sword out, and he starts trying to defend himself, taking like the dodge action to defend himself, slowly trying to back up, staying between you and this guard. Between you and the guard. It's your turn, Rena. What do you do?
I'm gonna attack the guard.
Oh, you're gonna help him. Oh.
She's not that heartless. Sometimes.
Rena's not heartless. Rena helps people that help her.
That's a really good attack roll. Rena, roll your damage.
Oh, are you kidding
It
me?
re-rolls.
Oh, wait, I forgot about
Oh,
that.
it doubled up.
I
What the hell?
No.
What is the likelihood of that?
What's 12 times 12? One in 144.
144.
I think that's how statistics work.
That would work.
Yeah. So anyways, that's awesome. That's beautiful. I know, Josh. I know that's not how statistics work. Stop trying to daddy us. So, it's now, of course, that guard's turn. So you go over and you attack him, and he looks down at this person, and clearly he wants to kill this guy. The guy's like backing up all week, and you're the one that just hit him. He's like, so he's gonna turn and attack you instead.
All right, fair.
I hit an AC of 18, and I did 7 points of damage, Rena.
Oh fuck. Because we haven't. I'm sorry. I probably ask this question every single time.
You have
I
not
asked
short rested yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, we haven't had time. And so this other guy that's here, the one that's kind of trying to defend you, he's like, "I told you to leave," and he kind of lunges forward and tries to attack the guy. Give me 1 second. Boom, boom. Actually, he hits the guy as well and does to him 5 points of damage, really injuring the guard. The guard's not down yet, but they are very, very injured. Rena, it's now your turn.
She's gonna attack the guard again.
Beautiful chance to hit. Describe how you finish off this guard.
I guess I'll just take his head off. Just straight across. Yeah.
Awesome. Kill the guard. His head goes flying. Rena, afterwards, what you see, like after you kill this guard, you kind of look down to see if this guy's okay. You hear combat around you. And that's when you kind of like, it catches your attention that all the guards had run by, just this one had looked this way because you rolled that natty one. But when you look out, you realize that there was not just this one guy that tackled you to get you here. There was actually 3 other people that were standing on buildings nearby with literally like short bow and arrow at the ready, shooting down into the alleyways as the guards came running through. And there was another man that's standing down at the front of the alleyway that stepped out to try to be the one that's at the front that fought them. And he has, a sword in hand, and he's fighting off, trying to hold off 2 of the guards right now as he's doing it. As you're kind of like taking in the scenery or whatever, and looking over, maybe I should help that guy too. An arrow from the roof hits one of the people in the back that he was fighting against, and starts falling down. And then it's just one-on-one with all of whoever these people are kind of still there. And you see the two of them are getting into a bit of a duel where he's, clearly outclassing the guy with just like where he's placing his blows, wearing him down very quickly. And then it just gets to a point where he just, smacks the guy's sword arm out wide and then just comes in and, stabs him through with the sword. And it's one of those things where as the, sword punctures through and kills him, he says, nothing personal, but get the fuck off my land. And then, kills him with the last hit. The man that you actually see before you is a human man. He looks like he's probably maybe in his late 20s. He has a clean-shaven face with long, dark blonde hair and brown eyes. He looks at you and so he looks over at you, acknowledging that you're there, giving like a quick nod, and then looking around to making sure that things are shored up. And then he points the sword that he has in his hand over at one of the bodies that's still moving. And calls up. He's like, Cheston, and just points his sword over in that direction. Huh? Yep, got it. And just kills the other guard that happens to be remaining there on the ground. And then after kind of like he looks around and sees everything's good, he's like, we should get out of here. It's not gonna be long before they send reinforcements. And he looks at you and says, coming?
I have to find my friends.
Yeah, the one you were chasing after, right?
Yeah. Did you see him?
I did not see where he went. He got lost track of by the guards, and they were searching for him themselves. All the guards chased you, so they hadn't found him yet, and they're all dead.
Well, that's good. Just one other thing. Who ordered you to come here?
I did. Let me introduce myself. And he comes over, and it's one of those things where obviously he has like gloves on because he's holding a sword. He cleans up his blade and he sheaths his sword and he pulls off one of his gloves and he extends his hand to shake yours. But it's just one of those things where he goes to shake your hand, but everything about the way he walks, the way he looks, everything that kind of comes off about him, you get this impression. You realize this is not just a human man here in Vala. The words that he said before, you come to realize this man has the walk and gait of a Tasian soldier.
Oh, okay. So I kind of recognize that then.
Mm-hmm.
All
He
right.
extends his hand.
I'll shake his hand.
Extends his hand to shake yours and says, Laszlo, Mardik.
Rena.
He
It's
says,
good to meet
he said, Rena, the destroyer?
So I'm told.
As am I. Well, it's fortunate that we should cross paths. I think you and I would get along quite well.
I do appreciate your help.
Let's get down to business.
He says,
Make a baby.
oh, hey-oh.
Whoa!
Excuse me, Yondis is not here right now. Please leave a message after
for
the...
After the beep, I was waiting.
And so he says, whatever it said before, right?
Right.
And he says, I'm sure there's much that we can discuss, but in the meanwhile, you have friends you need to find. I'll be more than happy to help you find them. What do they look like?
I think I have a pretty good idea of where they went, so I could find them pretty quickly myself. I do appreciate the offer. Where could I find you, or where could we meet back up?
He nods and says, the part of town, the merchant's part of town, there's an old abandoned, what's it called? Orpheum that's there. It was filled with some organization. It's sewer rats. So we cleared them out and we've been holding up inside there since. It's spacious. It's nice.
All right, then. We'll come find you there.
Listen, don't take this as an insult. I can clearly tell you can handle yourself. That's a damn fine axe, and you're comfortable holding it. But you're beat to shit. Just letting you walk out of my sight alone, it's probably not a very good idea. Can I at least send some escorts?
Oh, I don't know. Are they hot?
It depends on what they look like.
ASL.
Yeah, now it's Rena's turn to make Yondis jealous or attempt to.
This is my chance.
Oh, hang on. Actually, you come with
Oh, wait
me.
a second. Actually, you come with me. Oh. If you must send someone, just come yourself, if you can.
He nods and says, "But me and the troop, we don't go too far apart from one another. It's good to stick together behind enemy lines." And he looks to everybody else and he kind of just gives a bit of a hand signal. And you see pretty quickly afterwards, they kind of like fade back onto the rooftops or into the alleyways, except for the one, because there's 4 of them that's with him, right? There's the one that's there and he's kind of holding his side. And he actually will call over to the to him really quickly and be like, "You hurt?" And he's like, yeah, I'll be fine. I'm good. Rita, you had seen that it was a pretty grievous wound.
Because that's the guy that was trying to help me initially, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look, I have a healer's kit to spare for him. Please take it. And like I'll kind of, as I'm saying that, kind of reach in my bag of holding and hand it out.
I don't think you showed me how to fix that, Josh. Unless like what you pasted into chat before was what I was supposed to copy, but I didn't get that. You have to send it to me in Discord so it doesn't like scroll up. Rena, say that one more time. I'm so sorry.
I said I was grabbing the healer's kit from my bag of holding and extending it to him for the other guy.
Yeah, okay, cool. You actually give it to him, and he looks to his commander, and the commander gives him like a, "What the hell's the matter with you? Take it," kind of look. Like, yeah. And so he takes it, Oh.
It was a healing kit, not a healing potion.
You said kit or potion? I'm sorry.
A kit.
Oh! Never mind. That is very different reaction. So you hand the healer's kit, and he says thank you. And he'll start like walking back into the alleyway, opening up the kit with a bit of like a shaky hand franticness to it, but not asking for any form of help. He looks at you and says he'll be fine. He's survived worse.
That's good. I had to express my thanks somehow.
He nods. And as he like turns to start walking with you, it's one of those things where even though you walk side by side, you're clearly got the lead, and so he's going to follow your lead. And he says, "Expression of thanks isn't something you get very often these days. So what brings you to Momley?"
We came from... Where did we come from? Vala? No.
Vala's the name of the region.
That's the region.
Give me a second. The name of the town that you were in beforehand was Ursina.
Ursina, yeah. Okay, we came from Ursina. Hoping to establish some sort of new base.
Base, he says, looking at you.
For my friends and I.
Oh. So you travel with others?
Well, just the friends that I'm going to find.
Do you have a goal in mind with this base?
We just needed a new place to stay for a bit.
He nods, says, "How long have you been in this city?"
Not long. Just a few days.
Just enough time to stir up some trouble, huh?
I guess that's all it takes for us.
So here a couple of days, looking to establish a base and getting chased by guards, almost to be killed. I mean, not saying that you actually would have died, but let's be serious. You're pretty banged up. What happened?
A lot. I can explain more after we find who I'm looking for.
He nods and says, he nods and says, "All right, lead the way." And he doesn't ask any more questions. He just kind of keeps to himself from there. And he's just kind of like, it's one of those moments where like, and I don't want to give the impression that he's like being like lewd with looks, but occasionally he'll look at the way like you like will step gingerly on a wound and whatnot. And so like as you're like making your way there, after so many minutes, he will stop and say, won't stop. He'll just say to you, "Do you need me to look at this? Because you look pretty hurt. A soldier shouldn't be walking around in this condition."
Okay, but just in case we run into any more guards.
He nods. And so you guys will step down like a side alleyway for a moment, where he will also happen to have a healer's kit and kind of like pull it out and just kind of go to dress the wounds and whatnot. Rena, you have the heal skill, don't you?
I do. I think.
I'll allow you to roll that with advantage.
I just gotta find it. Sir, wait, what would it be? Survival? No, it's a skill.
Yep, heal. Or
Is it?
medicine. Medicine. Sorry.
Oh, got it. Okay, sorry. Took me a second. Oh, cool.
With
Never mind.
advantage. You forgot advantage.
Oh, thank you, Tyler.
With advantage? Oh, okay.
I know, Dragon. Okay.
There you go.
So you
Okay.
do a pretty good job of dressing up the wounds and so on and so forth. The two of you are kind of like bandaging it and this, that, and the other thing. And there's not much talk about stuff other than like, oh, hold on, move that there. And you guys don't really communicate any further. And then he, after like finishes bandaging you up, he actually helps you back up and says, "Looks like you could take a beating. It's impressive." And then just kind of like steps back so you can take the lead and doesn't say anything else again as you continue heading back your way back, I imagine, to the warehouse, which we already know Ophios is going to, and we already know Yondis was going to. Yondis!
Ophios is going to to wrap himself around the big fire lizard thing.
Yondis! You literally left off forever ago, a couple warehouses away from the warehouse. So it's pretty easy for you to make your way in there. Just do me a favor. Do you describe, like, do you just walk in there or
Yes.
just walk in the warehouse? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And you head downstairs or?
No, I thought he was going to the place where he murdered the people.
He already
already
did
He
that.
already went there.
He's
yeah.
leaving there, yeah.
No, I'm staying there. I'm already there. I'm not.
He's
Okay.
not going to the snake
Yeah, I'm
warehouse.
not going to the snake warehouse. I'm hanging out outside of the warehouse with the 2 dead bodies in it,
Oh,
which is only a few warehouses away.
that's true, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So you go into the warehouse, okay? Do you go downstairs to like where the area is?
That's a different warehouse.
Yeah, I wait outside.
Hold on. I
The
feel like there's
snake
confusion.
warehouse and the warehouse
Yeah,
where
wait.
the bodies are a different warehouse.
You're leaving, obviously, because you were already at the dead body warehouse.
Yeah.
Like you were physically there, murdered a person, or leaving.
Yes, and then I left, and then I
Oh.
waited.
Going
outside.
to the snake ware. Oh, so you're just standing outside the dead body warehouse?
Yeah.
Nothing like being at the scene of crime.
Well, no one's there yet, so just keep my eyes peeled.
And for the other random persons that are walking past here, that will see you outside that warehouse.
What? He could have shut the door.
Yeah, door's closed.
You shut the door to the warehouse. Okay, that you had broken into.
I mean, I'm not just standing on the front door with my arms crossed. Like, where are my?
Describe
fellow
it then.
I just walked away. I walked away, and I'm hanging out nearby where I can see the front of the warehouse, but not like in front of it with a big sign that says I did it.
So you're that guy in all like those Cockney London kind of movie things and the pasty thing with like Jack the Ripper that's like leaning against the wall, flipping the coin. You know what I mean?
Unless there's a coffee shop that happens to have like viewing angle of the warehouse.
What do you mean? He's dealing drugs on the corner, blending in.
Hey kid, want a nickel?
So
Cost you
anyways,
5 cents.
moving on. So you stand there and wait, trying to be discreet. Roll a deception.
Deception.
You're the one trying to be discreet, not me.
Is anyone asking?
Apparently not. You're good.
Awesome.
So or if they do, you cover it. The second one to eventually come by the area is going to be Snake Boy. You're a snake slithering through town. A big snake slithering through town. How do we not get caught?
Don't I have like some camo stuff?
You do have camo power now. That's a brand new ability. Sir, describe this ability to us.
Pop it in chat, too.
So, as in snake form, for some reason, Ophios doesn't know this. He's literally trying to duck into shadows and stuff like that as a snake, because this is something that the Naga scale has eventually developed. But what's happening as he's moving is his skin and his scales are basically adapting to the exact color of what he is slithering by or over.
Like an octopus.
Chameleon. Oh.
Yeah, like a
I think
chameleon.
octopus is a little
but
bit more relevant here.
It's a little bit faster. It's octopus.
And mechanically,
Fine.
you have advantage on stealth, correct?
Yep, and people trying to perceive have disadvantage as well.
It's a long way you have to go, and you're a conspicuous thing slithering by, so I just want 3 checks in total from you.
Oh,
It's going to be hard to beat. It won't be too hard. It's going to be hard to beat.
I imagine that's the 13 is when I'm crossing the bridge.
Yeah. So let me roll my perception. I'm going to give myself a nice solid +2 because there's a lot of people you're going by, but these people aren't really
Cheating.
looking for you or anything, right? Oh, sorry. I rolled that poorly. Incorrectly, I should say. Yep.
that is
Disadvantage.
It's 2d20, keep lower 1. Okay. Okay, rolled worse. Second one. Oh, so close. So close. So close that if I... So what happens is as you're crossing the bridge, at some point in time we were near the top of the bridge, somebody literally is just like just kind of looking and like, what is that? What? Oh my God! Oh, Karen! Karen, what is that, Karen?
Karen looks, and you need to roll for Karen.
I beat it by 2, so Karen sees it as well. Karen's like, I don't know, Philip. And so the two of them like have a bit of a reaction to the fact that you're slithering by. What do you do?
I played him a song. Hey, Philip.
Can I scare them off the bridge?
Yeah, you want to intimidate them? Absolutely, you
Yeah.
can do that.
Right,
Yeah,
crawl right
yeah.
at them.
Do I have advantage with my intimidate?
No, but the DC's low. Do you want to modify that? That's a yes. Okay, describe your attempt.
he just hears them screaming, and he just kind of curls up and rises as high as he can in snake form, which is pretty high. Snakes can climb sides of buildings like with just like their tail touching the bottom. He just rises up to be as big as possible in front of them.
Okay.
Assuming there's nobody else around that really sees it.
Yeah. So you So you like you said, rise up and like, and it's one of those things where he ends up getting so scared he like falls off and splash, which is not a short fall. I describe that ships can pass underneath this this bridge here, and she looks and she's like, Philip, and like turns and like runs the other way, down the area, and that's that. And then you have the last check. Nope.
Of course you roll 5s on the higher rolls.
Damn it.
Yondis also doesn't see you. Roll me a quick perception check, normal, Tyler. What's up, Vexed? While we're, or Vexed? Is it Vexed, or is it Vexed? I feel like it's Vexed, like you have been vexed. Perception check. You actually do see Yondis sitting on the corner, flipping his coin. I'm gonna get you, Shay.
I have a mug of Starbucks.
Ophios, if he's seeing them like kind of trying to act blending in, like Ophios wants to scare him.
Me?
Yeah, he's gonna climb up the side of the building and try and like snake down and slither onto him.
You be careful, or I might just play you a song too.
Why don't you, sir, roll me a stealth check to pull off this shenanigans, but also an athletics check to pull it off.
This better not work.
Athletics is normal. Roll a natty 1, fall on him.
A 3.
Might as well.
So what happens is he's slithering super quietly, goes up the building, and starts trying to like slither down the buildings, like hang like anaconda style to scare you. But falls, loses his scaling, and like falls down and flops on the ground. Flops on the ground in front of you. surprises you, but in an embarrassing sort of way. Yondis.
I'm trying to think of what I should roll to see if I get scared.
Just don't.
But it is surprising.
Yeah,
Constitution saving throw.
there's lots of things that are surprising but aren't necessarily scary.
Is it Constitution?
For scare?
For
No.
fear?
No,
Or
it's,
is that
it's wisdom. Yeah, wisdom.
Okay.
Wisdom. I'm bad at that. Oh shit. Ophios?
He can't talk when he's in snake form, I don't think, right?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, I
Because
can
you
speak
you
the
always
snake language.
it's always the same snake face.
Oh. Yes, it's me.
Ophios, why did you do that?
Because it was funny.
I'm rubbing off on you.
And you just hear him laughing.
We should probably find Rena though and leave.
Well, I will stay in this forms.
Here?
I'm naked. My stuff's stashed. Heads
Oh, no.
to gets away.
Oh no. Oh no. I mean, it's weird to think about how, I guess every single time you're a snake, you're naked, huh? So by that logic, all animals would be naked all the time. So why is it not why are you not naked all the time?
I am underneath my clothes.
Yeah, we should probably just find Rena and leave. I think that's the idea.
Please and thank you. So, do you guys go back into the warehouse down to where the snake stuff is?
That's where Ophios is gonna head, but
Okay.
obviously he wouldn't want them going down without him.
Okay. So, I mean,
He would just say, "I'm gonna head to my dens. Perhaps have my friends get my stuffs."
Sure, yeah. Just quick question. Do you need some snake clothes?
He's just gonna look for a second and then just slither away.
thank you, Tyler. Thank you.
Like-
But to be fair, though, that was the time to bite him. Just saying. All right.
Does
So,
being sentient mean you need to wear clothes? Because you're obviously sentient as a snake and as a snake person. So why is it okay for you to not wear clothes sometimes? That's really what I'm trying to figure out here.
and mind you, while he's having this conversation, it's like off into you've already like tail gone around the corner.
Yeah.
Like, he's like.
It's like I could imagine Yandis like sitting thinking and talking while he's looking in the air and then looks down and he's like, "Oh, he's gone."
I have not noticed you left yet.
So obviously you're gonna go downstairs, and we'll get to that in a second, Tyler. Yondis, do you wait for Rena? Do you go looking for her? What's the plan?
He's getting changed. I'm not going over there. So I guess I'll just wait for Rena.
Okay. At some point in time, Rena, again, you guys are walking relatively quietly. You're gonna hear from up on overhead like a that catches your attention, clearly directed in your way. The guy that next to you, Laszlo's his name, looks up towards a wall, and he says he gestures one, and so the Laszlo kind of like gestures like more or less like explain. He's like, "There's a man standing on the corner. Looks a little suspicious. I don't know. He doesn't not dressed like a guard, but definitely seems like he's looking for something." And Laszlo nods and says, "All right, no problem." And looks to you and says, "Might be a little bit of a scuffle up ahead. Don't worry, though. We'll have a couple of arrows pointed at him." And continues walking with you.
A guard?
Shrugs. Maybe, maybe not. And when you come around the corner, you see Yondis is standing there talking to himself. As Yondis is still looking at the ground, talking to nothing.
No, I figured it out.
Oh, you see somebody come around the corner and you look up and, hey, it's Rena.
No,
Some
if
man.
you were looking for me, that had to be disadvantaged. That's seeing Rena.
That's for Rena. It's fine. Over here.
I'll just motion to him and say that's who I'm looking for. I hope that's not the same person that you just saw.
He says, it's fine. And then he just kind of like looks over up at the roof for a second, shakes his head real quick, and you imagine that he just gave a signal that things are good. And he walks over with you, but doesn't
I
like.
imagine Arena like runs over to him and gives him the biggest hug ever.
Yeah,
She
we're gonna,
runs straight to
alone.
Giannis after she tells
Mad.
him that.
so
But she's mad.
he follows you, but even if you weren't running, he would have followed like steps behind you, like slow down considerably to let you go up to your friend. But do you like run over to Yondis? How's your approach? Describe it, Rena.
She's happy to see him, but
Happy to see what? His butt? What?
no, him.
Sorry, you said butt. So.
Just him. I was going to finish my thought. She's happy to see him, but
He's a thought?
she's upset. She's like, who was that guy? So she runs over to him, excited, and then all of a sudden her expression changes to just a little, angry.
Like me and Tyler meeting for the first time in real life. Yeah.
Exactly like that. 100% like that. She's like, Giannis! Like, Rita! I'm like, Giannis. She's like, Rita? She's like, Giannis! Like, Rita!
I like to think that Rena in game is Tyler out of game. All right, so. All right, go ahead.
Anyway, yeah. She walks up to him and just kind of pushes him. Says, where were you?
That was aggressive. I've been here for, I don't have a watch, a few hours, I think.
And who is that person you were with? You know, the one that you're holding hands with?
Yeah, I actually don't remember his name. He was married. He
Wow.
was.
Oh.
Was married. Yeah.
What do you mean was?
Here's the thing. Either I was gonna end it one way or another, and I chose. So, yeah, he's in the warehouse.
In the warehouse?
Yeah.
She like doesn't catch on it like at first, and then she kind of looks at you again, and she's like, oh.
Yeah.
Whew, okay. Awesome. Wow. Didn't
Really,
think
you're
you
happy?
would-
You're happy about that?
Hold on, does that
Yeah.
concern Rena that she's next?
I'm
no,
not-
she doesn't even think of it like that. She's just like glossing over it. She's more like impressed that he just by himself murdered somebody to protect.
It was
Us.
really a hard choice for me. Yeah. It was,
Mhm.
yeah.
So she's like, wow. Oh, wow. So like she kind of softens a bit, but then not too much because she realizes she's being watched. So
He stays back like 10 steps or so and does not say anything. He's not watching you guys directly either. He just stands there.
He likes to watch, Scott. He likes to watch. He's waiting for it to happen.
I won't lie. The stepdaddies down below, I was like, do we keep calling those stepdaddies or do we call them something more inappropriate like voyeurs? Right? Like,
whoa,
like,
don't get weird.
Yeah, it's like,
Hey, Rena, I think someone followed you.
Lloyd's, call him Lloyd's.
Larry.
She'll just say, no, he's on our side. Actually, he helped me.
Bondage tokens.
But she'll kind of say like, he helped me.
Can you guys stop?
I know we're trying to have a conversation
God.
here.
It's like you're doing what I do. It's annoying.
Keep
I'll mute myself.
No, it's okay.
But I won't mute myself to you guys.
Does he? Is he from here?
He's a Tasian soldier. So he's on our side.
A little bit away from the border, don't you think?
I think we can trust him and his people.
Okay. Yondis, or sorry, why do I keep saying Yondis? Ophios is getting changed right now. Should be back soon. Just had to grab his armor. I don't know what to do next. I think we kind of lost this town.
Actually, I think I might have a plan, and I'll kind of like look
Really?
back and see if I can get his attention.
Yep.
Laszlo's.
Immediately when you
you're
look,
muted.
immediately when you look to get his attention, he looks back at you. He was in that whole, yeah, I'm not listening right now.
Not
kind of thing.
listening,
Yeah.
just watching. Yeah.
But he was standing right there, you know. So and he looks over at you and takes a step forward, and says, The name... You're Perrin.
To who, me or
To
Yadis?
Yondas.
One of many. Yeah.
Ooh, what? Oh, this guy's human, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, I don't give a shit about your what you were born as. I give a shit where you were born. You're Perrin. Perrin.
He's not who you think he is.
He looks at you and says, what do you mean? He reeks of Perrin.
This isn't going to be a problem, is it?
I mean that he can be trusted. I trust him.
He thinks for a moment. Extends his hand and says, Laszlo.
What's in the other hand?
A sword.
I grab your hand, you pull me in and stab me.
Actually, his other hand's literally empty. But he answered your question with a sword. He doesn't answer your question.
Yondas?
He'll shake your hand and say, well, I hope you're at least half the man that she claims you are. I understand that you just recently got to town and have already stirred up some shit.
Plan didn't quite go as well as it could have.
Well, I won't lie. Your mistakes have made my plan work a little bit more smoothly. I didn't expect to be killing as many guards today as we did. But
That's
there
my
you
goal,
have it.
Yeah. I don't think anyone does.
Perhaps this conversation's not best had in the open.
No, I was about to tell him that we were planning to meet back up at your where you guys are holed up at.
He nods and says, my apologies. I wanted to escort her here because she was very heavily injured when I encountered her. I imagine that you need to catch up for whatever details you're going to go over, and I'll be seeing you that direction soon. Shall I leave a lookout?
How many men you have?
He looks at you with like a quarter smile, but doesn't respond.
We'll be all right.
Nods and says, tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
We'll be all right.
And it says one last final, tomorrow, and turns and walks off.
And then I'm gonna call back for him. Laszlo.
He turns back.
Don't leave anyone.
He nods. He says, a word is all a man has. Turns back and starts walking away. And then kind of like says over his shoulder, and honor.
Okay.
Keeps walking. When he said and honor, it was kind of like as an afterthought. Like, oh, and honor, you know. But keeps walking.
And I'll turn to Rena, kind of going off that. I don't think we have any of that, actually. We've been lying a lot. Anyway, is the snake done? Where is he? Do I see him?
Nope, because he's been gone for a long time.
Well, I would just say, so he headed back to the warehouse then?
Mm-hmm.
Referring to Ovios.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. We should probably head back that way. And we should probably find our horses.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Yeah, let's go.
So you guys, I imagine, head down to the warehouse where Tyler, you had gone down there. You had not a ton of time to spare, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is.
I would note Ophios would have mentioned to them before never to go down there. He did, actually, the last time they were in there, never to go down there without him unless he told him to.
Yep. And I'm actually kind of happy that it would have been funny if he went down because he would have encountered the Snake Man alone again, which would have been fun. But he didn't. The other Snake guy is down there, of course. The other Sloko is down there, of course.
Cool. I wanted to talk to him last time he was busy, so Ophios had wanted to talk to him about the statue.
Sure. So you come walking in, heavily injured, and
Slithering in.
slithering in. Sorry, heavily injured, and go over to him. Where he's not asleep. He's not like he's kind of like it's the turning down for the evening sort of a thing.
Turn down for what?
Turning down for the evening, like more or less his evening is kind of.
That's a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I've been meanings to catch you and ask you what it is I need to do with the statues.
I thought I made it clear. Worship
I
it.
know not praise. I know not hows to worships.
Well, learn.
What is its you do's?
You ask for guidance, for help, but you offer. You offer yourself. You offer your love. You offer your fealty. You offer your respect. You ask, but most importantly, you offer.
He'll think on it, but he'll think on it as he slithers his way over to the thing. And Ophios is gonna do something really weird. Instead of becoming himself, he's just gonna wrap his snake form around it because it's warm.
Ah, it's like your significant other has both warms the bed in a cold winter night and's turned on a heating blanket, and you're just like nestling into just like.
I live in Florida.
Okay, for normal humans.
The fan's on.
Oh.
So describe to
I
me
live
like
in
last
Florida.
time. What happens when Ophios like is touching this
Again,
statue?
at first it's hot. It's too hot at first. Like like a good like 110, 120, like 110 degrees or so. Like it's too hot for like a quick touch. But eventually you just kind of like get yourself used to it, and it's comfortable. It's warm. It feels really warm. Again, it's like you turn the shower on too hot, and it's like you do like funny little dance in the shower. Like I don't want to turn it down, but I'm not ready for it yet. And then eventually like no, okay, I'm good in there. All right, this feels good. My muscles are melting. It's like that kind of like burning sensation, but it's a little bit more intense and lasts a little bit longer before you get a little bit more, before you actually get into that comfort. And as you're kind of like cuddling up with it, you feel that warmth kind of permeating through you, like that whole warm to the core kind of feeling. It just kind of like makes you settle in and just relax. Your muscles just kind of like you're sitting inside of a sauna, like that.
Ophios is going to say in his native tongue, yeah, stuff like that, and he's just gonna say, "I'm Bax, and I asks for guidance, for helps in figuring out this towns. It's been a struggles, and I also asks about what's my purpose is beyond my purpose. What is it to life other than lopers? And I offer to you this, my thoughts, my beings,
Your beans?
my beings, my being to you for such answers."
Amen.
So you are kind of like offering like thoughts and whatnot, kind of like giving. It's a mild prayer or whatnot to it, but you're actually offering a part of yourself. You're actually the words. I'm not going to say because obviously I'm not your character. I don't fully understand like what you're saying here. But
Right.
to me, as somebody who's like first time worship, not fully understanding exactly what it is they're doing. Not that the
Yeah.
words are hollow, but that they have maybe less meaning of somebody who is practiced, that understands like what kind of strength that faith can give you, and so on and so forth, right? So, but nonetheless, you feel not really too much of a change happen right off the bat. It kind of stays. Just you feel warm and whatnot, It just stays with you. Time passes, again, 15 minutes or so. Inevitably, your friends come walking downstairs, and of course, you're still there. You guys come downstairs, you know that that's where he is. In the hallway, kind of like as he's getting ready, you see the other snake man, and he just looks at you and he's like, so really it's with this human mouth hissing as opposed to a snake mouth hissing. Do either of you say anything to him? This is Rena and Yondas.
Oh, we see. Wait,
yeah, you
we walked
encounter
in?
the
snake
other
man.
snake person.
Yeah.
Oh, we encounter the
Not
other
me.
person.
Yeah.
Without me there, yes.
Wait,
she's-
I didn't know that we were going down there. I thought we were just going to the horses in the warehouse.
The horses are all set.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I totally missed. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right,
You know what?
sorry.
Fine, Daelric. We'll go down there and talk to your snake friend, okay?
Fine.
Because he wants that to
No,
happen.
No. You don't have to. I'm sorry. I honestly
No,
like.
no, it's fine. Hey,
'Cause
how you doing?
weren't you literally coming? We're both of you like, I'm gonna go and wait here for my friends to show up. Hey, cool. I'm gonna come back here to meet up with my friends again. All of you guys are the same spot, and then you're gonna go different directions. That's where I'm confused.
Ophio's already down there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go down there. That's fine.
Okay, we're going down there.
It's fine, Daelric.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So anyways, so you guys make your way downtown. Walking. So you make your way downstairs, and I found a flaw in the green screen effect. Look at the bottom of my glass. Oh, it's throwing it off. It's so funny,
Ooh, weird.
right?
It happens, man.
Not like look at
What
the glass.
the-
Right? Oh, it's so weird, so trippy.
It's because it's the water's refracting the green from the background behind it.
I know, it's just
Yeah.
so cool. All right, sorry. So you are making your way downtown into the warehouse, and you bump into the snake person who does again that human voice snake.
Oh.
Oh, hello. Seen our friend down here?
He's like, yes, in there, and he gestures towards the entrance that has I think one of you stepped in it beforehand, but has the statue in it. No,
Oh, he
actually
told us
not.
not to go in there.
Actually, he told you not to go in there. He says he's in there.
I was told not to go in there.
Get away from me.
Are we like? Can we duck into that room that we were staying in before?
So
That's
you're like,
the room that he's in.
yeah.
No, that's okay. I thought he was in the hallway.
Well, he was in the hallway, but that's where he's going to bed. Yeah.
Oh, okay, never
We'll
mind.
just wait in the hallway for
We'll just wait for
our
him.
friend. Yeah,
Okay. How long you guys wait?
till he's done changing.
No, that was out of game. I don't you guys wait. Tyler, how long do you stay there, cuddled up and pray?
He's gonna, if he only feels like a slight thing, he's gonna try again and say, I gives myself to use. Whatever's you are, whatever's you be, I know nots, but something feels familiars. And I feel that connections.
You hear no response. Feel no change.
Okay. I'm trying. I don't know how to do this, literally, because my character doesn't know how to
You're
do
fine.
this. So he'll if he doesn't feel a change, he'll kind of slither off it and make his way out of the room.
You slither off it. It's one of those things you really don't want to, because when you lose connection with this thing, that such warm, comfortable feeling goes away. But this time, it doesn't. You finish removing yourself, unraveling yourself from it, and it's pulling away, and then you stop and you realize the warmth is not fading in seconds like it did before. The warmth is not just kind of like leaving you. You still feel warm. You feel cozy.
You're sweating even.
Like something burns on the inside, and it's keeping you just. Tyler.
The instant he notices that, he'd just kind of look back at the statue.
Tyler.
Yeah.
Cold resistance. Add it to your character sheet.
Okay.
Take 6 points of radiant damage every second until you die.
Jeez, if it burns, you should see a doctor. I think my favorite part about Josh's sense of humor is his sense of humor is so good in the meta that he literally named himself Unfunny One. Like, it's so good in the meta that he, like, got ahead of his own, it's good. It's good. Like,
Cool.
Wait, you don't think so? You don't think it's funny?
I don't know Josh very well. So.
Well, maybe you should participate in chat more often.
Well, I could.
Not while we're
You get
playing.
mad.
Stop being in
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah, you get mad. See, that's the weird
In
thing.
Discord.
All
What's
right,
that?
I did it.
Salamander statue.
You forgot to put the take 6 radiant damage every second. You can just add that in later. That's fine.
Anyways, so you slither out. Another, like, they've been waiting like 10 minutes or so, and you slither out. When you come out, are you still in snake form, or did you like switch to human form and grab
he's
some
in
of the basic supplies and cover yourself in simple clothes? Because this is a supply room, simple clothes.
Yeah, he probably would have grabbed supply clothes, like simple clothes, and walked out. He's wearing a loincloth. That's it.
Okay.
Why? Do you have a dingus?
Because Mortifer need no more clothes.
Are you an animal or a man? Do you
Both.
need to wear clothes?
I am a man on the lower half. I do have that. That is very much in existence.
So you don't need to wear a shirt, but you can wear pants.
The lower 7/8. Because we all know about the 8s.
I don't understand.
It's an inside joke for other people. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So he basically throws on the bare minimum, not wanting to take too many supplies.
Okay.
And Ophios walks out and goes, "What are you doing downstairs?"
Looking for you.
I understand, but I wasn't with you. He's could have. Is probably upset.
He did nothing.
Lucky's
To-
yous.
We told him we were waiting for you, and that's all we've done.
Fairs. I need to reacquire my armor. I have marked the buildings in which it is, but I can't be seen in this forms. I can't hide my face.
So you want me to go get it? Now?
Wins we have a moments, but first maybe we need rest.
I'm pretty rested. I think I can get it tonight if you want me to get it tonight.
Is there something in your bags, Renas?
What?
Magic item, cough, 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 cough.
Yes. I have the amulet of protection.
No.
That's on your neck, Rena.
Nope.
Oh, God.
What?
Can you give me a better hint?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Did I have to? I'm trying to look. Hold on.
My monitor's like, no more mama.
Look under ROI Bank under other at the very bottom.
Okay, I'm looking. Cab of human guys?
Yes.
Okay, that. Sure, I've got this. I'll call it fourth in the bag of holding.
Oh, that's a
Is it in the
fun
bag of
one.
holding?
So the Cab of Human Guys is a fun one. Because when you take it, it's in the bag or whatever. When you take it, because the bag of holding's held by Rena, right? Yeah, because she's the
Yeah.
strongest
Correct.
one. It allows you to, it has 3 forms in it, as opposed to your typical thing, which has only 1 form. It allows you to be a human child, an adult halfling, or an adult gnome. It is always the same form every time you put it on, but the gender will conform to yours, so the gender stays the same for your person. It does not give you any voice changing or anything like that. So you're going to look like a small human child, an adult halfling, or an adult gnome. And when I say halfling in this world, of course, it's Hafue.
Roll a 1d3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your first time putting it on, so you don't know which one you're going to come up as.
Roll a 1d3.
It's going to go human, Hafue, gnome.
can't roll a d3. Oh, rolled a 3.
No, it is. So you put on the hat of
shit. That's the worst one.
So you put on the hat of guys, and immediately, as soon as you put it on, I'm just making sure that it's just a. Okay, so as soon as you put on the hat of guys, you immediately transform to look like a not just a gnome, but a gnome who is actually wearing the robes of somebody of the Arcane Congress. Now, the rank and significance of these particular robes, none of you know. None of you have any understanding or training of the Arcane Congress's identities and whatnot. I'm kind of doing it again. But you literally are just a gnome, an adult male gnome wearing Arcane Congress robes.
You look really
All right.
official.
So basically, Rena gives this cap to Ophios, and he puts it on. All of a sudden, he's tiny. He's short.
I'll look to Giannis and just say, "Is this gonna work?" Maybe we should just get his stuff.
Hey, what's wrong here? Sorry, I forgot my voice didn't change.
Oh, your voice doesn't change, yeah.
What is it? It's not like Ophios can look in a mirror.
It's just not what we expected.
You look like a gnome of great importance.
The highest importance. Yep. Mm-hmm. But it's a little conspicuous.
You look fine.
So gets my stuffs, yes.
We'll get.
And he's gonna start walking down the tunnel as this gnome.
Wait, Ovios, wait.
What?
Why don't you just let me get it? I don't...
Yeah. I mean, no, I can go with you. It's just, so you don't have to go by yourself in case you run into trouble.
Well,
I'm coming with you.
you have to.
Yes.
Can we fit him in like a backpack, something?
All right. Sure. Yeah. Just why don't you guys just hang out? Just hang out. Just like a quarter.
Does anybody touch Ophios while he's in this form?
Oh God, no! I'm terrified.
I'll poke him in the shoulder.
Okay, so you're gonna poke him in the
I think-
shoulder?
Yeah, I'll just like go to touch him because I'm just surprised how small he is now.
It's
Does he-
weird.
does
It feels really weird because Yondish, she just poked you in the upper thigh.
What?
Like the
How'd you poke Yondis?
not Yondish. Hey-o. Sorry, Ophios. Sorry,
Oh,
Ophios.
she was rubbing that inner thigh.
Oh, sorry. She poked
Oh.
you. She poked you in the shoulder. My apologies. Ophios. She poked you in the rib. Rena, make an investigation check.
Wait, is that? It's half my height.
About that. Yeah.
Whoa!
You poked in the rib, and you're like, "This feels weird," and you like poke it just like a little bit more, and all of a sudden, after like running your fingers up just a little bit from the shoulder, you can still feel.
Hey, that's my nips.
Just straight up.
Why are you touching my nips?
You
Yeah, sorry.
rub upwards above the shoulder of the gnome, and there's dude there. And you like blink once or twice. And it's the trippiest fucking thing because you literally see Ophio standing there with like a translucent gnome standing in like his face is around where his belly is. And like his like chest is around where his crotch is. And like then there's like a body and whatnot all the way down to his legs. So all of a sudden you see you get a translucent gnome kind of almost like standing on or in Ophios's feet. So this is like weird, like I can see both Ophios and gnome at the same time.
So okay, wait.
It's-
So can Ophio see from which height? His regular height or from the shorter height?
He sees from his own height.
He can see from his own height. So if I'm looking at him,
Yep.
Can he-
So
he can
before
see
you're
me
looking
looking at
down.
him.
Yep. And all of a sudden
Yeah.
you're like, and he sees you looking at him.
What? You can see me's nows?
I think so. It's very weird, and I'll like look down to where like I see the gnome, and then like look back up, and then back down, and then back up.
You know, Ophios, why don't you just point out the locations to me, and I can just go get them for you real fast, and we don't have to deal with this
Little problem.
appearance issue anymore.
Well, looks for this symbols by the cellars.
Oh, it's
And he
well
would
past an
draw
hour.
it. Huh?
Well past an hour.
He's gonna draw it on the ground. Well, I didn't think I could mark it with prestidigitation. I thought I was able to scratch it in.
Oh, scratch. My apologies. Yep.
Yeah.
You're correct. You did say that.
Yeah. So he writes it on the ground.
Okay.
And I could show you the symbol, but it's different. And
Lost him.
It's fine. I'll find it.
it looked like he got terrified of
What
something.
does he have? What is that?
My monitor is going crazy again. I really got to get a new monitor. And luckily, I have this Christ-like award that was
It's literally like the power of Christ compels you.
Power of
His
Christ
monitor.
compels. I noticed he was doing the cross to it, and I was like, "What is he doing?"
This is given to me by a priest that I had a wonderful conversation with that said that he literally was like, hold on one second. Went to his car and got a Christ-like award for me because he said that I was such an emulation of a word he said of Christ that, and I'm like, do I tell him I'm an atheist or do I just let it go? I'm gonna let it go.
An
Oh
hour
my God.
later, he's at the bar. Yeah, and then I gave this guy a Christ-like award. And everyone starts laughing. Idiot took it. What a dummy.
He was talking with the rabbi.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna stop Brittany that. You have any idea how often I pull this up? She's like, "You're being an ass," and I'm like, "Actually, I'm rather Christ-like."
I just imagine you having that with you when you came to D&D Live, just in case you needed it.
Well, she'd be
Pulls it
like,
out of his bag. It's ready.
Actually, I'm not an evil dungeon master.
Actually.
I'm a Christ-like.
she'd
I
be
have
like,
the power of God and D&D on my side. And pulls it out.
she'd be like, "I'll shove that thing up your ass." And I'm like, "Well, just so you know, turning the other cheek is Christ-like." Oh, anyways, so continue, guys. Distraction. Oh.
What were we doing?
I was
You were
going to get
trying to
Ophius
convince
stuff right now.
Ophius
Let's
to
go.
stay here and not walk out in the way he is.
So, what do I need to do?
Oh,
He
so
just
he's
finished
leaving.
drawing the symbol on the ground and say it's in the basement, and you might have to find. He would describe where it was, but he covered it in invisibility oil.
You suck. Okay.
Before you guys leave to go get his stuff, do you talk to him at all about the guy that you just met? Like, oh yeah, your stuff. Let's totally go walk around in the part of the city we know nowhere near that you were near.
Yes,
and totally just
I was gonna get there. Yes.
Actually, Rena has an idea of where you were, so she's a general
That's true.
vicinity. So, but go ahead.
Which is gonna be part of my argument. Anyway, I kind of know the area that he was in, so I could take you back there, Yondis, and we could find his stuff together.
And he stays here?
Yes.
I love it. Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah, great. One more thing, Ophios, before we take off.
What?
Somebody did help me.
Speaking of which, before you even continue, Ophius will say, "What happens with the little spies that I chased? I saw you guys followeds and were nears, but
Yondis.
or the
actually.
man's, child's, whatever he was.
You didn't
Yeah,
see. You didn't see that.
I saw them. I didn't see. I saw that they were nearby.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry, that.
He's also.
So that's Ophios literally going. That could only be the only reason why is they saw him. That's what he's trying to presuming.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about that guy anymore.
Explains. I was worried he saw my face, or worse.
It doesn't matter. He's also at the warehouse.
He kind of tilts his head like here. Here's
The
The other
warehouse. Yeah.
I'm gonna roll an insight to see if he figures out what you're putting down.
The warehouse that's probably going to be just littered in guards.
I think he figured it out.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
O's. Appreciates.
Yeah, it's okay. I framed him up a little bit, so should be okay.
You put him in a pictures?
No, I just gave him a dagger.
O's made him looks like he did it. Yes. It's literally Ophios like questioning language, like occasionally he doesn't necessarily know what framing somebody for it is.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, right. You're a snake. Yeah, of course. Sorry, just when you're a gnome, I just feel like you're a lot smarter.
Yeah, you could probably take that hat off. It's kind of creeping me out.
Can you leave it on?
I imagine Giannis is like, I want to play you a song now.
Yeah, no, you should. It's probably better if you just take it off.
Yeah.
And don't wear it in public.
Real
Yeah,
quick.
I wouldn't. Give it back.
He's gonna go and walk into the bedroom as this.
Oh my
gnome.
gosh, no.
Wait, Ophios. Ophios.
We still have to tell you something. Ah, damn.
And what happens there, you can play out in your fanfic imaginations, because I think that man has a penchant for gnomes. Like,
Oh my god.
Oh, sir.
remember, it's human upper body and snake lower body. So it's,
Oh, this
hello.
is going downhill, bro.
I'd like to say hi.
He's literally just trying to play a trick on the friend, and then he's gonna take it off because he's literally taking it out. The fact that he did it to Yondis earlier, he's like, I wonders.
Oh no! Every day we stray further and further from God. All
Which
right,
god?
and with you guys going to get the stuff and him going to blah 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 blah.
So we do get it. We're just gonna.
Yeah, we can wrap it up from here. And next session we can pick it up with you guys having already collected and everything. It's not gonna be anything crazy, so we don't have to roll for something so mundane as that. Because we have a lot more important conversations and whatnot to be had for that. So awesome. I had a lot of laughs today. All right, so let's do our little round table before I make a little announcement. Let's start off with who wants to go first? How about Tyler? Tyler, what do you, Tyler, have going on, Tyler?
I'm working on so much crap behind the scenes that it's practically killing me, but I'm doing a bunch of really cool stuff and working on a lot of different things. Why'd you hide your face from
It was accidental.
You just moved your camera, didn't you?
I'm working on getting more YouTube videos out. It is taking longer than expected just because I have a bunch of stuff going on, but that is a big thing. That's youtube.com/apocalypto12. You can definitely check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/apocalypto_12. As Scott magically has a thumbnail of my last video of YouTube behind him that talks about my year of 2019. So you can click on that thumbnail, not on the stream, but like on my channel if you want, and it's there. God, that's wigging me out that you're rubbing my chin. But I'm working on a bunch of different stuff. I'm trying to get back into streaming regularly. I'm starting to work out. I'm going to a cool thing next week for work-wise. That's why I got my hair cut. But
Looks good, Tyler. Woo!
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Actually, it's going from how nutty it got. It's like,
Yeah.
like sometimes I grow my beard out, and when I trim it way short, I feel like a different human. And that's 10 of those combined is like the extreme of what you like. There was such a crazy change.
I did it for my epic stream for charity that I did with my friend Gar. That Scott, I think you popped into and got to see part of. But there is a forever highlight over there on my Twitch channel if somebody wants to go and see what that was all about, why I grew my hair out for so long before cutting it.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually the reason. So, but yeah, definitely follow me on Twitter. That's where I post about all the stuff that's going on and things like that. And that's just apocalypto_12. And I'll keep you posted on various things going on. But that's me. Listen to these other people because they're great.
Okay, well, we all know that the most important person here is definitely this one. So, Rena, you're next.
All right. Hi.
What kind of lead-in is that?
This
Well,
is
the
gonna
last
be
guy was
such a
great, so
meme.
let's just keep going. I guess.
Just
if everyone
power
else
through it. Come
sucks.
on, hurry up.
Yeah, Rena, you go ahead. I'm listening. I swear.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so uncomfortable, Scott.
Tyler,
It's
do you have
so
a cursed banjo too?
uncomfortable.
Did you play a cursed
Did you
banjo
play-
too, Tyler? That's great.
Damn banjo again.
God, is this you playing an IRL curse on this campaign right now?
Oh, God.
Just having laughs.
No, it seems like a trump card with how much control you're having over my picture of me.
It's getting weird.
Oh,
It's
the-
getting weird.
Internet makes things awkward.
I didn't play the banjo, Scott. I didn't. I promise.
Rena, go ahead.
It's me, Arena the Destroyer. You know me. I'm yeah, the Destroyer.
That was Queenie.
Yeah, whatever you. I prefer, Queen Reina the Destroyer first for me. I'm just kidding. But anyway, I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. I am trying to finish Pokemon Sword right now, playing through The Walking Dead. Can't wait for Animal Crossing. Super excited for that. Anyway, that's all of my cutesy stuff going on. You can find me at Reina the Destroyer here on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter as well. So yeah, that's me. These guys are definitely cooler, so you definitely check them out over me.
Yeah, I think that. Yandis, sir.
Wow.
Messy.
I know.
Yeah,
my
yeah,
roleplay
Yandis,
is
go ahead,
so
Yandis,
good
I'm
that
listening.
It's hard to disassociate the character for me, Daelric. Our roleplay's so amazing, but I'm really gonna need you to be on top of that,
Sir.
Cool. All right. So, first of all, you know what? I'll say this last. I'm gonna save that for later. Right here, Daelric, is actually the last place I saw you. Crazy. That's crazy. That right there. You remember when you were? Yeah. Anyway. So that bit was set up like an hour ago, and I forgot about it. What's up? I'm Messy Cat. Messy_cat on Twitch. Hey guys, it's been a long time since I've
It's
talked.
a really good song.
Just want you guys to know that I've been working hard and hardly working at the same time. It's quite a life being a Twitch streamer. I hope you guys can understand. Anyway, so I bought something.
Uh-oh.
Daelric, I wanted to tell
Uh-oh.
you.
No, I'm afraid.
I've been waiting for this for a really long time. It's not that cool. Well, actually, it's really cool, but it's not like funny. I've been waiting for this for a long time. I got it today. Daelric, I got it today. And
I'm
this is
waiting.
all streaming for like the next 2 months or whatever.
Did he just get on his knees?
This
Oh my
bad
god,
boy-
yes! Yeah! Oh, that's a... Oh!
Yeah, I'm so hyped, dude. I've been playing it nonstop today. Like literally 15 minutes before you did the Zoom call, I was deep in there.
What were you playing?
I was playing The Lab. It's a free game that Valve put out. It's really fun.
Yeah, now, are you actually going to be streaming that as well?
Yeah.
Have you
Doing
been?
that.
Oh, that's amazing. I actually
Well,
had no
haven't yet,
idea.
'cause I literally got it today, but I will very soon.
Okay, that's awesome. Kudos to you. I've actually never put out, aside from like the cardboard box with like a smartphone, I've never
It's hard with
put on a
glasses.
headset yet.
I'm not gonna lie. It's difficult. Not
Yeah.
impossible, but it makes it a lot harder.
The struggles of the visually impaired.
Yeah, it sucks.
So, do you have any specific games you want to announce that you're gonna be playing on it, or just check me out because I'm cool?
Pavlov, probably a lot of Pavlov.
Like-
That's like the. Yeah, it's Counter-Strike, but it's in VR, so I'm excited to play. I haven't played it yet, so I'm looking forward to it. And I
That
also
sounds
got
amazing.
a bunch of games. I bought them all during the winter sale in getting ready to get my VR headset. I bought a bunch of discounted VR games, and I'm gonna just play them all. I think is the idea. Just go through everything.
Awesome.
And also, I'd like to make an announcement if you don't mind, Daelric.
I mind just a little bit though.
Okay, well, I made it through an entire D&D stream without getting muted, so.
Oh. Is it too late for me to fix that? Everybody, what do you think?
Well, I've already announced it. Why don't you put a poll in the chat and they can decide? But
No, it's all good. And lastly, me. So everybody knows that we're going to be starting the Aurorum Thronekeeper campaign very soon. It's going to... so it's going to be the Aurorum Thronekeeper campaign very soon. So we'll be starting on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 1 a.m. Thursday nights Eastern Standard Time. you know, blah blah blah. I'm very excited for that game. It's gonna be sorry, I had to think for a second. Taking place. I was like, what have I said? What haven't I said yet? It's gonna be taking place in the Fantasy Age system, which is a different system. It's based off of 3D6, but plays out similar enough to 5e that it'll be very easy for new time watchers to follow. The opening of that campaign, when it is officially getting released, the session zeros, which everybody knows are pre-recorded and then just kind of like aired live all at once, are going to be going up on the 20th of February. So February 20th, that Thursday night, that's when we're actually doing our session zeros. Woo! Exciting! And then finally, the 27th of February is our first official live show. The whole cast is there session once. As always, the patrons over on Patreon do get the VODs for that sooner than everybody else. So you get to keep those secrets to yourself on who's in the cast and what they're playing and blah, 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 blah. But other than that, it's I hope you're excited. So it'll be coming to us soon. And let's link these campaigns up. I'm sure you'll all be happy to see it. All right, we good? We good? Anybody else want to say anything else?
When we link campaigns, what system are we gonna play?
You know what? We'll find that out in the future.
So you don't know?
No, actually, I do know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll wait.
All right, cool. Then everybody, I will. I'm just gonna 1 second time out Anno for that one, and yeah. There you go. That's what happens. All right, so everybody, I will see you later. Bye bye.
4.5e.
Everybody, just so you know, I did mute Messi. As a reminder, we are going to be rating somebody in just a moment. So if you just hold on 1 second, I'm going to see who of my wiki cool friends is live so we can rate them. So